We last ran Aerodactyl about a year ago together on the channel. It was part of the Just the Battle series, and for its time it did very well. However, an awful lot of things have happened in the last 12 months, so I think it's about time we gave Aerodactyl another bite of the cherry and we can see just how well it does now. We've absolutely come a long way in the last 12 months here on the channel, and things are only going to be improving from here on out as well. And that's a little part of the reason why I've taken some time away from creating videos and doing streams. Ostensibly, I've rebuilt the overlay we use in these runs from scratch. We're going from an image-based system where every single Pokemon just had a static image to something a little bit more dynamic. That means that in future runs, Return's power will be updating as we go along. You'll be able to see the hidden power type directly in the move list, and it also means for me creating backports has become significantly easier. But that's enough waffling about the overlay. Let's take a look at the stats of Aerodactyl. We are level 5 with 23 HP, we're holding a berry and our only move is wing attack. We've got 15 in attack, 11 in defense, 12 in special attack, 13 in special defense, and a whopping 18 in speed. I reckon those stats, along with our base stat totals that you can see on screen, are going to be more than good enough to post a top 10 time. The question is, how fast will we go? We have a great start by one-shotting our first encounter, a level 2 Pidgey, and we can make our way towards Mr. Pokemon's house. And while we're chatting away with Mr. Pokemon, I just want to say thank you to all of you for your kind words on the Butterfree video. It's never nice not being able to create content because you're ill. And even though I think the time was well spent doing things that were necessary for my videos, it's still not pleasant being able to see all of you lovely people. And now, while we're taking on the first rival battle, I want to mention a little bit more about those backports. With the help of the ever wonderful Snowy Totodile, I've been learning how to mod the game and insert Pokemon in myself. And I want to know from all of you lovely people out there, which Pokemon would you like to see in Pokémon Crystal? Do let me know down in the comments below, and you never know, your favourite Pokemon might just get a backport on the channel. In the meantime though, we've already told the police officer that the rival's name is triple question mark and we're well on our way to Violet City. And because we're a flying type Pokemon with a stab flying type move, it makes sense to go to Sprout's Tower straight away. We had no issues with any of the sages and we're already at the tippy top of the tower where we battle Elder Lee. He has a pair of Bellsprouts and a Hoothoots for good measure, and it's as simple as 3 one-shots to knock out all of his Pokemon, and we can acquire the Flash HM. That will let us light up the Whirl Islands and Mount Silver a little bit later on. But for now, we're going to escape rope out of the tower, visit the Pokemon Center to regain our PP, and we'll take on our first gym leader together. This is Falkner, the flying type specialist who leads with Pidgey. Wing attack is a simple one-shot on the Pidgey as we grow up to level 13, and it's 2 shots on the Pidgeotto to knock it out, and that was one of the easiest Falkner battles we've had in a while. That's the Zephyr Badge acquired in a time of 8 minutes and 3 seconds. Let's now head out of the gym and start making our way towards Azalea Town. We'll pick up the Paralysed Cure Berry from the tree just outside of Violet City. We'll enter into Union Cave and we'll have a little chat with Fire Breather Bill. He's annoyed that Zubat keeps supersonicking his coughing, so we'll take care of it for him by knocking his coughing out. You can't, of course, get confused while you're fainted, and after annoying the locals in that cave, I think it's a good idea that we leave there never to return, and we'll hide in the Ilex forest. We'll take this chance to catch our HM friends, and first up today is Psyduck. Psyduck's going to be helping us out with Surf, Strength, Whirlpool, and Waterfall. And the second HM friend is Paris. Paris is going to be helping us out with Cut, with Flash, with Dig, and if we need it later, Sweet Scent as well. And with both of those safely tucked away in our bag, we'll make our way back into Azalea Town and take on our second gym leader together. This is Bugsy, the bug-type specialist who leads with Metapod, and I think this one is going to be a foregone conclusion. It's a one-shot on the Metapod, a critical hit one-shot on the Scyther, the Kakuna comes out, it's another one-shot, and that is Bugsy all defeated in a time of 13 minutes and 29 seconds. Aerodactyl is proving to be a Scarodactyl for the enemies so far, but there may be trouble ahead as we go into rival number 2. This battle of course is notoriously difficult if you're weak to one of the starter types, which Aerodactyl is, so let's see how we do. It's a one-shot on the Ghastly and then Crocodile Leers instead of attacking us, so it's 2 shots to knock it out, and we're through the worst of this battle. It's a single hit to knock out the Zubat, and we get through on our very first attempt. The rival's AI absolutely helped us there, but I think Aerodactyl would have been fine either way. Now that we're in the forest, we'll grab cuts from the charcoal maker, and we're also going to grab headbutt from the green headman staring at the tree. It surprised me that Aerodactyl could learn headbutt, but I'm not going to complain. We have an empty 4th move slot available, and that slots perfectly in there. That's a lovely base 70 power move that can take advantage of our speed to flinch. Just outside of Goldenrod City, we're going to pick up our 3rd HM friend. This one's Abra, who's going to be helping us out with teleport, and then we'll make our way into the city proper. Of course, the first thing we grab in Goldenrod City is the bike, so that we can move about twice as fast as we could before, and then we'll have a little pit stop at the gates north of Goldenrod to pick up our 4th and final HM friend. This is my personal favourite, it's Kenya the Spearow, and can you believe it, it's going to be helping us out with Fly. In the National Park we'll pick up Dig so that Paris can dig us out of caves and buildings, we'll have a little chat with Floria next to the tree blocking the way, and we'll make our way into our 3rd gym together. This is Whitney's normal type gym and she leads with Clefairy. Clefairy's a 2-shot, almost a 1-shot with Wing Attack, and here comes the Miltank. Miltank misses rollout on turn 1, gets locked into it on turn 2, that means we can 3-shot it, we get the option to learn Supersonic which we decline, and then we get the plane badge in a time of 18 minutes and 28 seconds. Goodness me, Aerodactyl is racing through this run so far. So let's see if we can keep this pace up as we head towards Ecruteak City. Our first destination in Ecruteak is going to be the Kimono Girls Dance Theatre. We have the type disadvantage against 2 Pokemon here in the Dance Theatre, but we were in more peril in the Vaporeon fight, but even then we stayed comfortably in the green at the end of the battle. After defeating all 5 Kimono Girls, we get the Surf HM, which we'll be teaching to Psyduck a little bit later on. But for now, we're going to be heading towards the Lake of Rage. This is going to be our first of 2 visits here, and our purpose here this time is to not only get the rare candy in the bush, we're also going to be visiting the Hidden Power Man, and our Hidden Power type in this run is Fire. At face value, Fire might seem like a bit of a weird choice for our Hidden Power type. However, we're mostly focusing on Steel types with that Hidden Power typing. Pokemon like Jasmine and Ilex are going to be a lot weaker to special moves than they are to physical moves. So I think the Fire type will benefit us slightly more than the Ground type in this particular run. Now that we're in Olivine City, we'll grab Strength from the man at the cafe, we'll teach that to Psyduck and have a little chat with Jasmine at the top of the tower, we'll grab the rare candy, teleport our way back to Ecruteak City, and we can start thinking about taking on the 3rd rival battle. Just before we do though, we're going to replace Agility with Hidden Power Fire. Agility is useless on our learn set, we're outspeeding everything anyway, so it makes sense to have that type coverage for the rival's Magnemite. And now that we've taught it, we can engage him in battle. So this is Rival 3 and he's going to lead with a very pesky Haunter. This Haunter likes swearing at Pokemon, but we're able to one-shot it with a Wing Attack, and here comes that Magnemite. Hidden Power Fire makes mincemeat of it, and we're onto the Croconaw. Croconaw's a 2-shot using Wing Attack, with Water Gun barely producing a dribble on us, and then we one-shot the Zubat to knock it out, and we have defeated the 3rd rival battle in a time of 26 minutes and 38 seconds. Let's now release the beast, dig out of the Burnt Tower, and we'll make our way into Morty's Ghost and Poison type Spectacular Gym. Before taking on Morty himself though, we're going to take on Sage Ping, and it's against one of Sage Ping's plethora of Ghastly that we learn Ancient Power. Ancient Power, of course, is a 60 base power rock type move, so it's Stab, so we got rid of Bite in its place. There's no need to have 2 special moves on the learn set. And now it's time to take on Morty, our 4th gym leader, together. We one-shot his Ghastly, and we do exactly the same for the Haunter. We're holding the Mint Berry for the Gengar, but it turns out we don't need it because Hypnosis doesn't affect us. And then it's one final hit on the Haunter to knock it out, and that means we've obtained our 4th badge, the Fog badge, in a time of 28 minutes and 23 seconds. Let's now cycle back west into Olivine City, where we're going to cross the open seas. We have a pharmacy to visit in Cianwood City, so we'll do that straight away and pick up the secret potion to give to Jasmine later on. And while we're in the neighbourhood, we might as well go into the next gym. This is Chuck's fighting type gym, and he is our 5th gym leader together. He leads with Primeape and we have Stab Wing Attack, so it's one shot on the Primeape to knock it out, and here comes the Poliwrath. The Poliwrath is a little bit bulkier and hits us quite hardly with Surf, but it's still 2 shots to knock it out, and we acquire the Storm badge in a time of 30 minutes and 17 seconds. We really are on a roll with Aerodactyl so far. I am mightily impressed with how it's doing, especially compared to the old run. Now we'll get Fly from Chuck's wife and fly straight to the Lake of Rage, where the Gyarados is waiting for us. For some reason today it's not shiny, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but we'll get the blue scale and have a little chat with Lance. He tells us all about the shenanigans going on in Mahogany's underground, and I'm pleased to report that absolutely nothing of importance happened in there. So we'll skip to the end where Lance gives us Whirlpool, and then we'll move into the next gym. This is Price's Ice-type Spectacular Gym. He's our 6th gym leader together, and he's going to lead with Seal. The Seal comes out and it's a simple one hit with wing attack to knock it out, so he sends out Piloswine. Piloswine starts attacking us furiously and we low roll on turn number 2. Now that's going to get Price into healing range on his Piloswine, so we're going to use a couple of hidden powers to knock it out instead, and the final Pokemon is Dugong. I pressed the wrong direction on the D-pad and select Wing Attack instead of Ancient Power, but it's still a foregone conclusion and 2 shots knocks it out. We acquire the Glacier Badge in a time of 35 minutes and 43 seconds, and we can now do our little sweep of Johto, picking up all those items we've not collected so far. We'll start with the Rare Candy in Violet City, we'll grab the Charcoal from the man in Azalea Town, and the last thing we're going to pick up on our mini sweep here is the King's Rock from the Slowpoke Well. And with those items safely tucked away in our pockets, we'll fly over to Olivine City and we're going to start ascending the lighthouse. Now in the last run I neglected to check her handbag, so I really hope she doesn't have anything stashed away for this battle. We did check her handbag this time, but it was all clear, so we'll go into the gym and we'll face her in a nice clean fight. This is Jasmine, our 7th gym leader together, who leads with Magnemite. Hidden Power Fire is a simple one-shot against Magnemite number 1, and it's the same against Magnemite number 2. This battle is Aerodactyl against Ilex and nothing else. We use Hidden Power, take it deep into the yellow, and Iron Tail critical hits. What absolute nonsense from Jasmine. Let's try again and hope for the best this time. One shot on the pair of Magnemites and we are back to that Steelix. I tell you what, it's incredibly frustrating when you take a reset on a level where you learn a move. This time though, Iron Tail misses, that gives us the in we needed, and we're through Jasmine in a time of 38 minutes and 9 seconds, although we now do have a single solitary reset to our name. We'll try and forget about that by cycling south of Goldenrod City and picking up the nuggets and the rare candy next to the daycare, and then we'll make our way into the Pokemart. In here we're going to pick up the return TM from the lady at the desk, and I also pick up a few vitamins to try and make our run go a little bit smoother. And now it is time for the 4th rival battle. This is Rival 4 and he leads with Golbat. For some reason in this battle I was obsessed with not using Ancient Power. We are in the middle of a long run of trainers without a healing spot without losing time, and I think I was focusing entirely on the tippy top of the radio tower where a lot of Pokemon are going to be weak to Ancient Power. In the grand scheme of things, this PP management turned out to be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and really we didn't gain or lose any time by conserving our PP in this battle. We get through all of his Pokemon in 1 or 2 shots, and that means we have defeated Rival 4 in a time of 43 minutes and 31 seconds. And to celebrate our victory against the rival, we're going to say goodbye to Headbutt, and we're going to teach a much more powerful move in Return. Return will have a maximum base power of 102 when we are at max friendship, but we've got a long way to go because we're in the slow experience group. At the tippy top of the radio tower we'll have a little chat with Marie, who will give us the pink bow, and we'll also use this opportunity to take the quiz and obtain ourselves a radio card. We'll fly back to Mahogany Town, take a cycle east towards the ice path, and in this instance there's only one thing for us to pick up in here. We'll grab HMO7, which contains Waterfall, and we'll make our way into Blackthorn City. Our mission in Blackthorn City is simple. We've got to defeat Clair, gain access to the Dragon's Den, answer another questionnaire, and obtain the Rising Badge. We'll start off by taking on Clair, our 8th gym leader together, who leads with 3 Dragonair. Return makes light work of all 3 Dragonair, so this is just going to be Aerodactyl against the Kingdra. We use Return on turn 1 to take it deep into the yellow and out of healing range more importantly. Return hits on turn 2 and we knock it out, and after all the faff in Dragon's Den we acquire the Rising Badge in a time of 54 minutes and 36 seconds. Let's now head back home to Newbark Town and surf east to make our way towards Victory Road. Nothing too important happened on our route to Victory Road, so we'll head straight in there and we're going to pick up our next TM. This is TM26, which contains Earthquake, and much like Headbutt, I was very confused to see this on the learn set as well. I'm not going to complain though, so we're going to say goodbye to Hidden Power Fire, which has served us well, and in its place we're teaching Earthquake. And just in time for the 5th and final rival battle of the run. This time he leads with Sneasel. Sneasel's easily disposed of with a wing attack, and we're on to Magneton. Magneton is 4 times weak to Earthquake, so it goes down very easily, and we are on to Feraligatr. I decide to put Return through its paces against the Feraligatr in its 2 hits to knock it out, and here comes Haunter. Haunter's a simple one-shot with Earthquake, and his penultimate Pokemon is Kadabra. I don't even bother to change moves against the Kadabra, and it goes down with Earthquake. We use an Ancient Power against the Golbat, and we are through the final rival battle in under an hour. This is a very good runtime, not quite Ursaring good, but we are still doing very well. And now that we're in the Pokemon League, we're going to say thank you to our HM friends. So it's thank you to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck, and to Paris. You've all been a great help in the Johto region. Get some well-deserved rest as Aerodactyl takes on the Pokemon League. In preparation, we're going to pick up 4 full restores, which we'll either need or we won't. And now let's take a look at our stats. We are level 49 with 156 HP. We're holding the pink bow with Wing Attack, Earthquake, Ancient Power and Return. We have 142 in attack, 97 in defense, 98 in special attack, 112 in special defense and 164 in speed. Those of course are the out of battle stats. They'll get a little boost from the badges in the battle. And let's see if it's enough to take on the Pokemon League. Our first league member is Will, who led with Xatu, which went down in the blink of an eye. Jinx goes down much the same way because of Ancient Power, and we are on to Slowbro. I tried to fish out an Omni boost from Ancient Power, but Slowbro was having none of it, so I finish it off on turn 2 and get the option to learn Hyper Beam. We decline and he sends out Exeggutor. We use Earthquake against Exeggutor because of a misclick, but a Wing Attack finishes it off, and then one final Ancient Power is all we need to knock out his Xatu, and we are through Will in a time of 1 hour and 49 seconds. Let's try and keep this up against our second league member. This is Koga, who leads with Ariados. Wing Attack's a simple one hit against the Ariados, and the next Pokemon is Fortress. It's a 3-shot on the Fortress and it doesn't go boom. That's the best case scenario for this battle, and it brings us on to Muk. Muk's a simple one hit with Earthquake, and his final 2 Pokemon are Venomoth and Crobat. Venomoth's a simple wing attack, and we have an Ancient Power with Crobat's name on it. That's another one hit, and we are through Koga in a time of 1 hour, 1 minute and 26 seconds. Up next is Bruno. He's of course the fighting type specialist who leads with Old Spinny Legs. We use Wing Attack against the Hitmontop to knock it out in one shot, so he sends out Onix. Earthquake is an easy critical hit one shot against it, and we just have 3 fighting type Pokemon left to go. Hitmonchan is the first, and that goes down to a single Wing Attack. Machamp goes down in much the same way, and I can't see any difference for Hitmonlee either. 3 simple one-shots to finish off the battle, and we are through Bruno in a time of 1 hour, 1 minute and 57 seconds. Our 4th and final league member is Karen, who leads with that pesky Umbreon. Umbreon's playing ball in this battle though and doesn't sand attack us. That means we 3-shot it to knock it out, and she sends out Gengar. Gengar's a simple one-shot with Earthquake, and her 3rd Pokemon is Vileplume. Vileplume is no match for our wing-attacking Aerodactyl, and Houndoom doesn't fare much better either after taking some rocks to the face. We're going to finish off with more rocks against this Murkrow, and we have defeated Karen and the Elite Four in a time of 1 hour, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. There is now only one obstacle between us and the Hall of Fame. It's Lance, the liar, who leads with Gyarados. So we have Ancient's Power on our learn set, so that's going to be our main move, and it takes out the Gyarados in one shot. We Ancient Power his first Dragonite, but we get paralysed from Thunder Wave. Let's give that another go, shall we? We're back onto the Gyarados, and it's still a one-shot with Ancient Power, and here comes that pesky Dragonite again. It goes straight for Thunder, but it doesn't knock us out, and this gives us a really good chance. The second level 47 Dragonite comes out, and we critical hit it. That is a bit of a turning point in this battle. We one-shot Aerodactyl with another Ancient Power, and the level 50 Dragonite comes out to play. He uses Outrage and takes us down to 31 HP. We finish it off with a Return, and we have 1 Ancient Power remaining for a Pokemon 4 times weak to Rock. We knock out the Charizard in one simple hit, and we are through Lance and the Pokemon League in a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And let's get our Hall of Fame time of 1 hour, 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Aerodactyl is currently sitting in 5th place after the Pokemon League on the leaderboard, but that could all change. We still have another 8 gym badges plus the red fight left to come, so don't you dare go anywhere. Kanto is next. And we are back outside our home in Newbuck Town where it all began, and Professor Elm's got a little present for us. He's trying to get us out of the country with an SS ticket so that he can conspire with Jasmine, and we'll oblige, but only after finishing what we need to do in Johto. The first thing is to welcome back Kenya, Abra, Psyduck and Paris, who had a lovely little rest at the Costa del PC box, and then we'll make our way into Mount Malta to get the first of 2 rare candies remaining in the Johto region. The second one is located in the Whirl Islands, and the reason we pick these up now is because the one in Mount Malta requires Waterfall, and this one is on our way towards Olivine City. And with 2 rare candies safely tucked away in our pockets, we'll hop, skip and a jump all the way into Kanto, and the first thing we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto. We're going to get another rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon fan club, and with that one packed away we'll go into Saffron City for a fleeting visit and make our way into Celadon City. There are a couple of things we need to do in Celadon before we take on Erica. The first is get the leftovers from the bin, and the second is the PP up from the bush. And with that taken care of, we can take on Erica. She's our 9th gym leader together, a grass type specialist who leads with Tangela. And with her being a grass type specialist, this is very much a foregone conclusion. There is absolutely nothing can do to withstand our onslaught of wing attacks, and all of her Pokemon go down in a single hit. That's our first Cantonian gym leader taken care of in a time of 1 hour, 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Let's now take on Misty, our second leader. She's a water type specialist who leads with Golduck. We Earthquake the Golduck and take it deep into the red, but we do take some damage from Surf. We finish it off with a return, and here comes Quagsire. It's a 2-shot once again on Quagsire, but it uses Amnesia so we don't take any damage, and then we get Confused from Starmie. Even with the pink bow, return wasn't enough to be a 1-shot, and that means we're confused for the Lapras. We hit ourselves in confusion as Lapras does a rain dance. We hit it on turn number 2 though, and a critical hit Ancient Power knocks it out, and we acquire the Cascade Badge in a time of 1 hour, 12 minutes and 50 seconds. Our third gym leader in this gauntlet is Sabrina. She's a Psychic type specialist who leads with Espeon. It's a 1-shot on return with Espeon, and we are on to Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime's another 1-shot, and then her final Pokemon is Alakazam. Alakazam's got paper thin defense, so it also gets knocked out in 1 hit, and we have earned the Marsh Badge in a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes and 23 seconds. Our fourth gym leader is Surge. He's an electric type specialist who leads with Raichu. We put Earthquake to the top of the list because we'll be using that in our next 3 gym battles at least as our main move, and we are making mincemeat of his team. Every single Pokemon is weak to Earthquake, and every single Pokemon is going down in a single hit. This is one of the easiest Kanto sections we have had to date. Surge is defeated in a time of 1 hour, 14 minutes and 55 seconds, and I don't see Brock putting up much resistance either. Even though he has the type advantage over us being a rock type specialist, all of his Pokemon are going to be weak to Earthquake, and we have almost 200 in battle attack. So not a single one of his Pokemon can withstand the Earthquakes. Every single Pokemon is another 1-shot, and for 2 runs in a row, Brock has been laughable. Brock really needs to up his game, but I'm not going to complain. That means we get the Boulder Badge in a time of 1 hour, 16 minutes and 33 seconds. Let's now make our way towards Cinnabar Island. We say hello to 3Drill en route, who is doing very, very well. He had a summer holiday to Hoenn of all places. I wonder what it'd be like to be there. Maybe we should go soon. In the meantime though, we're going to have a little chat with Blue, who's going to tell us all about this nasty volcano that's destroyed Cinnabar Island. We'll pick up the remnants of a rare candy there, and then we'll make our way to Seafoam Islands, where Blaine has relocated. He is our next gym leader together. He's a fire-type specialist who leads with Magcargo. And talking of Magcargo, just for a bit of fun, I've created my own variant of Magcargo along the lines of Toedscruel or Wugtrio called Aquago. And if you'd like to see me run a water-fire version of Magcargo, please do let me know. We defeat Blaine and get our badge in a time of 1:17.56, and now it's time for everyone's favourite pushover, Janine. She is our penultimate gym leader together, a poison-type specialist much like her father, and she led with Crobat. We're already on to her third Pokemon though, as we have a Weezing to take care of, and then her next 2 Pokemon are part Bug type, so we'll swap to Wing Attack. It's a 1-shot on the Venomoth, and it's going to be a 1-shot on the Ariados as well. That's Janine all done and dusted in a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes and 43 seconds. Let's move on to our final gym leader. This is Blue, the mixed type trainer, who leads with Pidgeot. And it really is bad for poor old Blue that he leads with Pidgeot, because Ancient Power knocks it out in 1. He sends out Rhydon next, and of course Rhydon would normally Sandstorm. He sees our rock type though and goes for Fury Attack, knocking us 3 times, and we are on to Alakazam. We use Return against Alakazam for a simple one-hit KO, and the next Pokemon is Gyarados. We've got an Ancient Power with Gyarados' name on it, but it doesn't quite knock it out. However, he gets caught in a healing loop. 2 wasted full restores later for Blue and a couple of Ancient Powers here and there from us, and we are on to his next Pokemon. Exeggutor comes out to play, and of course Exeggutor is weak to Wing Attack. It's 2 shots on the Exeggutor, getting seeded in the process, but the final Pokemon is Arcanine. We use Earthquake against the Arcanine, we take it deep into the red, and then he roared us. I decided, because we did not make an attacking move in this battle with another Pokemon, that this battle was still valid. We finish off the Arcanine with Return, and we acquire the Earth Badge in a time of 1 hour, 20 minutes and 14 seconds. And with that, we have all 16 gym badges acquired. There's only one more challenge left to come. That is, of course, the Red Fight. So we will chat with Professor Oak, who will call his friends to grant us access to Mount Silver, and we'll start cycling our way there. We'll grab our 10th and final rare candy, and we'll teleport back to the Pokemon Center and make our way into the cave. So this is Red. He is our final battle of the run, and he leads with Pikachu. As always, we're going to start at our current level with our current learn set and chop and change things from here, and we already know that Pikachu is irrelevant. I try and get an Omni Boost off the Blastoise, but already we are in the red from 1 Surf. We have no choice but to use our first 3 rare candies straight away. We are now at level 64, and as we know, Pikachu is not a problem in this battle. Our main issue is going to be Blastoise. I think once we crack Blastoise, we have won the entire run. We take a lot of damage for a Rain Dance boosted Surf, and we have to use another 3 rare candies. We are now at level 67, let's see if this makes a difference. Pikachu once again is out of there. That is not a problem in this battle. It's all about the Blastoise. Rain Dance boosted Surf just obliterates us every single time. We are now up to level 71, we've used all of our rare candies. It is now or never, or we're gonna have to do the grind. So once again, we give no thought to the Pikachu and we turn our attention to Blastoise. I decide our best plan of action is to try and get an Omni Boost off Ancient Power. So that is our battle plan. Pikachu, 1 shot, we don't think about it. We try and hope for the Omni Boost, and a few resets later we eventually get it combined with a critical hit. That means that we are tanky enough to withstand the Surf, and we get to see the rest of Red's team. I fish out another Ancient Power against the Espeon trying to get another Omni Boost, but it just wasn't happening. I do the same against the Snorlax and still it is no different. We only got lucky once, however we didn't get paralysed by Body Slam, and when I swap to Return and the Reflect fades, we knock it out. That brings us on to Charizard, and I saved an Ancient Power because it's 4 times super effective, and then we have just 1 Pokemon left to go. It's Venusaur, who is of course weak to Wing Attack that we've had since the very beginning of the run. We use it as our first move and our final move, and we get a time of 1:25.04, and that is a huge difference compared to our Just the Battles time of 1 hour 50:56. It came in second on the Just the Battles leaderboard, and so let's see where we come on our main run leaderboard. We are in 4th place, ahead of Apom, behind Kangaskhan, and that is a 25-minute improvement. I am so happy with this run. But please do spare a thought for Snorlax, who finds himself in the page 1 drop zone, and Firo has moved down from page 1 onto page 2 to head it up, and at the other extreme of page 2, we now have Magneton in 50th place in the page 3 drop zone. And now talking of page 3, Quagsire is heading it up in 51st place, and still in last place is good old Shuckle with a 3:49.20. But with that, we are done. So I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. If you enjoyed this run, then please do leave it a like. If you've got anything to say, leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to see more runs just like this, then please do subscribe. But until next time, I'll say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon.